welcome to the channel. This is High Country Dan, and you are at High Country Outdoors. And today we have another great product review for you, something that I really want to share with you guys and that I'm excited about. This is an awesome product made locally in my home state of Montana. Let's get right to it. I want to make this short and sweet and to the point. And so this is the product that we're going to be reviewing today, or this is part one of a three-part product design. This is the Epoch Outdoors Mountain Mag Digiscoping adapter. And I gotta say, guys, this thing is pretty BA. Really great product, made locally, like I said, here in Montana. And if you're looking for a digiscoping adapter, look no further than the Epoch Outdoors Mountain Mag. I will post a link both in the description for this video, but I want to give a shout out really quick to Mindful Hunter. Mindful Hunter turned me on to this product. I wasn't even aware of it and didn't even know it was made in my hometown here in Montana until I got to the opportunity to watch his video on the review that he did for several different types of digiscoping adapters. He picked this as the top pick in his categories. And I can completely agree and understand why. And so let's get into the nuts and bolts of this thing. This is a fantastic digiscoping adapter. It's incredibly light. It's incredibly versatile, really easy to use. And honestly, it's just, in my opinion, it's the best digiscoping adapter out on the market. So let's talk about why I believe it's the best digiscoping adapter on the market. And simply because A, it's really light, it's really simple, and there's just not a lot to it, and it works perfectly every time. So I am using this phone as my demonstration phone. I'm actually recording this video on my actual iPhone 15. That's what I bought the digiscoping adapter for. But this thing works awesome. But for the purpose of this video, I'm using an old iPhone 12. It will fit on here, and I can use it to digiscope with this phone as well. But this adapter is made for the iPhone 15 Pro. It is compatible. The beauty about this adapter, so my number one thing that I really love about it is that it is a MagSafe adapter, meaning that if you have a MagSafe phone, which most Samsung phones and all iPhones, the newer versions, are all MagSafe compatible, right? Like we have magnets on the back of our phone. The cool thing about this adapter is that you can use this adapter on any MagSafe phone and pretty much any MagSafe phone case that you already have. So you don't have to buy a separate case that you have to swap your phone in and out of. Now, I want to put a little asterisk there because some cases are not all built the same, and I'll get more into that later in the video. But the beauty of this guy, the MagSafe digiscoping adapter, is that it literally locks right onto the back of your phone using the current MagSafe compatibility. And as you can see here, this MagSafe adapter has two lenses. It's got this guy, or I'm sorry, two adapters basically. It's got this one and this one. As I mentioned before, I have an iPhone 15. It's got 3 cameras. This iPhone 12 only has 2 cameras. But as you can see right now, as it's clicked in this configuration, this lens matches up perfectly with the lens on the camera. And you can snap it onto your binoculars or your spotting scope, whatever you have the other part to it. So as I mentioned, this is a three-part, there's 3 parts to this product line. This is the first part. This is the part that attaches to your phone. And as you can see here, this works perfectly with my iPhone 12. Now, the beauty of this project is it's got a switch lens where you can basically flop this over. And as I stated earlier, with my iPhone 15, I have a lens that's right here. And that's the primary lens on my phone. And so that's the one that I use the most to digiscope. But you can swap it over, and then you've got your zoom lens up here. So a great product that allows you to use both lenses on your phone, whatever the application. It just gives you some extra telephoto range if you want to use that zoom lens versus your normal lens if you're using an iPhone 15 or an iPhone 16. Again, the beauty of this product is that it's ultralight. This thing weighs like mere ounces. It slaps onto any already compatible MagSafe phone case, and you're ready to rock and roll. So let's talk about phone cases really quick. I've got a couple of different phone cases here that you can see. And let's actually talk about the one that's on this iPhone 12, because this is pretty much the same case. This is the case that I keep on my iPhone 15 Pro, or that I bought for it, and they're virtually pretty much exactly the same. They've got these little built-in magnetic kickstands on here that rotate, so you can set your phone up and whatnot, you know, on a table or whatever. You can hang it. Pretty handy. The issue that I had with this case on my iPhone 15 is that when I first got this product, there was a little bit of some growing pains because I picked up my new phone 4 days before I got this adapter. And so there was a little bit of a learning curve for me, and I got really frustrated at first because, again, I was using this phone case on my iPhone 15. And when I would snap this on here, it would not line up with my primary camera. It wasn't centered. The camera lens wasn't centered in this aperture hole. And so what was happening was I was getting some vignetting at the top of my recording or the video. And that was really frustrating. I just couldn't get it to turn out. And what was happening, because it was catching the top of this aperture, my camera lens kept wanting to change over to one of the other camera lenses because it was seeing black, and it was really frustrating. I couldn't figure out why that was happening. But the reason that was happening is because this is a relatively cheap case off of Amazon, and this magnetic ring is not aligned perfectly with the back of my actual iPhone and the MagSafe ring on my iPhone. And so when I go to snap this guy on there, it just wasn't lining up properly. So what I had to do was go get a different case. So this is a cheap case that I picked up at, I think it was Best Buy here in town. And this, as you see, has a MagSafe, the actual MagSafe compatible magnet on the back here. Cheap Spigen case, I think is what it is. I'm not sure exactly the brand, Sprech case. But using this case with my phone and lining it up, it actually lines up perfectly for this camera on this side. And then you can switch it and it lines up perfectly for my zoom lens on the iPhone 15. So I did have to get a different case for my iPhone going away from this guy. So, all right, let's talk about the second component to this system. Again, one of the beautiful things about the system is highly customizable. I picked up 2 of the eyepieces. Let's bring that over here right now, and you guys can check this out. So this is the eyepiece right here that you can purchase with this adapter. You purchase them separately, so you need to order this eyepiece for either your binoculars, or I've got right here also my spotting scope lens. And so I picked up 2. They're $59 a piece, but overall totally worth it to have one for my binoculars and one for my spotter, because I like to digiscope with both. So the awesome thing about this product is, as you can see here, it's got magnets all the way around. The thing that I really love about this, and Mindful Hunter mentioned it in his video, that he wasn't able to use his optics with the adapter on there, meaning that he couldn't glass with them on there. I think that's kind of weird because I have absolutely no problem at all glassing with this adapter on either my spotting scope or my binoculars. It works great with both. The beautiful thing about it is that you can see the opening, the aperture opening is identical to the aperture opening of the actual optic. So I have no problem. Now, yeah, it adds a little bit of bulk. You can see that, you know, it's a little bit bigger than the stock eyepiece. But you can twist these eyepieces in and out. And so kind of give you a little bit of a look here. Let's turn it this way. They sit flush. It sits flush right here. So I can pick these up and I can glass just perfectly. No problems at all. I can see through there. I don't have any issues with that at all. And let's show you how this thing snaps on there and how quickly it is. So again, I'm going to throw this on my iPhone 12 here, and it's mounted up. The cool thing about this guy is once you've got it mounted up, it literally, well, I got to throw it this way. Sorry about that. It literally just snaps into place, and you're ready to start digiscoping with your binoculars or with your spotting scope, whatever. And these little magnets are strong enough that they lock into place really, really well. And so there you go. The beautiful part about it, again, is that it's ultra light, it's ultra simple. It locks into place every single time. There's no vignetting, super easy to use once you get it set up and get it figured out. You do have to rotate this eyepiece and get the magnets lined up so that, you know, your phone's not sitting at a goofy angle. Like it will, obviously it'll attach at that angle, but you're not going to digiscope at that angle or your video is going to turn out funky. So it's pretty easy. You just rotating it to the other camera now. And again, the magnets just pop into place and line up. Now this one, because it is on the other lens, it's sitting at a funky angle, right? Whereas if this was on my iPhone 15, it would be fine. No issues at all. So again, part one of the system, and then part two, move that over here so you guys can see it, part two of the system. And so let's talk about the third part of this system. I'll get out my spotting scope and show you this one really quick. So here's the spotting scope, and you can see that I've got this adapter on here. The third part of this system is this little guy, and this is a little magnetic lens cover with a strap here that goes around the spotting scope so you don't lose it. I love this. I think this is awesome. Again, it's magnetic. It literally just pops on there, and now you have a awesome little eyepiece cover so that you don't get any dust, debris into your spotting scope. Again, the aperture for the spotting scope cover is exactly the same as the aperture for the actual spotting scope. So I can use this spotting scope with this product on here. I don't have some giant magnetic bulky thing like the Olin. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the Olin's a great product, but again, you have to buy a separate phone case if you don't already have a phone case that will work. The eyepiece is bulky, it's heavy, the whole product is just kind of bulky. Sometimes it doesn't always line up depending on your system, and you can't use both your lenses with the Olin. So just something to think about, something to consider, and that's why I think this Mountain Mag digiscoping adapter from Epoch Outdoors is a much better product. And the price. That's the last thing I want to talk about. I'm a blue collar hunter. I'm a blue collar guy. I can't afford to blow money just like it grows on trees. And this entire system for the Mountain Mag from Epoch Outdoors is, I think, $132 if you buy the digiscoping adapter, one eyepiece, and then the lens cover here, the lens cap. This thing's 14 bucks, I think. So all in all, 130 bucks for a complete digiscoping system, to me, is incredibly awesome. I'm gonna weigh this, and I'm gonna show you the weight really quick to show you what all three pieces weigh. But it's ridiculous. It's going to be mere ounces, honestly. So guys, check this out. I'll post a link, like I said, in the comments below of the Mountain Mag. I think you guys are really going to like this digiscoping adapter. It's incredibly simple to use. Now, one thing you need to consider is this thing's pretty small, and you don't want to lose this. So I have a FHF gear bino harness. And in my bino harness, behind the main pouch that holds your binos, there's a little sleeve in the back. I used to tuck my phone in that sleeve. I don't anymore because I have an actual separate pouch for it on my bino harness now. But that sleeve works perfect. I throw this guy in that sleeve. It sits right there when I'm hunting. Anytime I want to digiscope, it's literally pull it out, snap it on the phone, and I've already got, you know, the eyepiece is mounted onto my optics. Just slap that onto your spotting scope or onto your binoculars, and you're ready to rock, and you're digiscoping in no time. So that's the Mountain Mag. Check them out, Epoch Outdoors. That's EPOCH Outdoors. And they're locally made, American-made products. And I can't recommend them highly enough. There will be, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video, there will be a discount code for you guys. That's going to be High Country Outdoors, HCO, 10% off. For you guys only, my viewers only. And it's worth noting that I'm not getting any kickback from this. This is a discount for you guys specifically for checking out this product on my video. So thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. I've got more content coming out, more video reviews for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. Let's throw up some weights right now of this product. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.